Assalamualaikum everyone, hope you all are good inshallah. In today's video I'll show you how to make chicken and cheese ranch pizza. My son's school start soon, so I was preparing some pizza on a weekend night. So I do have an in-depth tutorial video, whatever you want to call it, on how to make a perfect pizza base. This is a recipe which I'm following, was given by my neighbor's maid, and it was a very nice one, and it was my first time trying it. So first thing first I like to do is I like to proof my yeast for any pizza recipe. This way I will know whether my yeast is active or not. If it has expired and if I add it directly or in the pizza base before proofing it, there is a chance that it might not rise and all my ingredients will go to waste. So I did keep my yeast packet for proofing. Now in a big bowl I will add 2 full cups of all-purpose flour. I like to store my all-purpose flour in the fridge, that way it stays fresh. I will add 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda and around 2 tablespoons of milk powder. I did not have 2 tablespoons of milk powder, so I used around 1.5 tablespoon and it worked perfectly fine. Now I'll add 3 to 4 tablespoons of yogurt. I had around half box of yogurt left in the fridge, so I added the whole box. I will also add 3 to 4 tablespoons of oil, and I will then add some salt to taste. So around 1 teaspoon of salt was added. I will mix all these ingredients up before adding my yeast and water mixture. This was my first time trying this new recipe out for pizza dough, and I still do think that my original recipe is a little bit more better than this one. This is a good recipe if you are having if you have some shortage of time, then you can use this recipe. If not, you can use my original recipe, which will be in the description box and also in the iCards above. So yes, see, this yeast is active. It has been proofed, and I will add it to the dough and mix it well. Take your time and knead the dough very well for around 10 to 15 minutes if you're doing it with your hand, or if you're using a stand mixer, then do it for 5 to 7 minutes. The dough should be super soft in the end, so yes, it will take a lot of time, but it is worth it. I mean, it has to be really soft. It can't be hard. So keep hitting the dough with the palm of your hand and do it for a couple of minutes, and yes, take out all your anger on this dough. It's kind of therapeutic actually, for me at least. I will add few drops of oil in this big pan in which I will place my dough so that it doesn't stick to it. Rub some on the sides as well, and on the top of the dough itself. Wrap it with the cling film and cover it with a cloth and place it in a dark and warm area for around 1 hour. 1 to 2 hours. 1 hour is enough if it's the summertime, but if it is winter and where you live it is cold, then do it for 2 hours. I'm just using this hanky to cover this top of the pan. That's it, and after 1 hour you will see that the dough has doubled in size. I have this big old pan which I will grease again with few tablespoons of oil. Grease the pan really well so that your pizza doesn't stick to the bottom of the pan after baking, and it comes off easily. So generously coat the pan very well, all sides, including the the rim and etc. Now I'm dividing the dough into 2 parts because I'm going to be making 2 large pizzas. I'm not using a rolling pin. As you can see, I'm just going to use my palms and I'm going to shape the dough as per my pan. It's super easy to do. Trust me, once you get the hang of it, you will never use a rolling pin. Just do it like this and take your time in, covering all sides of the pan and making it all even and nice from all sides. See, it's perfect and very well coated. All sides are even. I'm going to be making a thin crust pizza, so this is super thin. Now after I bake it, it will become a little bit thick, so just keep in mind that the size that the size that you cover, it's going to double in size once you bake it, so it will become a thicker crust. Now I did that. I poked some hole with a fork on the circular tray. Now I will follow all the previous steps on my rectangular tray as well. Do the same exact thing, push and pull the corners from all sides, making it, and it's really easy to do. Trust me, I was having a hard time before, but now I've been making pizza for years, so it's gotten a little bit easier. It's gotten easier and easier over the time, actually, not a little bit, it has gotten significantly easier. So I've done this, and then again I'll poke some holes into it with a fork so that the air escapes through it. Just like that. Just some random holes here and there, nothing rocket science. And I will also chop up some vegetables now. I have some white onion. You could use red onion if you'd like. I'm using some capsicums. You could use any capsicums you like. I'm going to use some green and black sliced olives. I like both, so I'm using both. Homemade pizza sauce recipe is already up on my channel. It has gotten a lot of views and it's a really nice recipe, so do make that. Or you could use a store-bought one if you want to save time. I already had these on hand, so I'm going to use a few tablespoons full of the sauce on the pizza. You could use more or less how much ever you like. And since this is a ranch pizza, I'm going to be adding some ranch dressing on the pizza. You could use a store-bought ranch dressing, but I again have a video on how to make ranch dressing at home with few simple ingredients that you might already have in the kitchen, and it makes an amazing ranch dressing. I had 1 cup of boneless chicken breast in my freezer, which I cut into thin strips, and I will be putting that on my husband's and my pizza. Since my kids don't really like chicken, so I'm just going to make a vegetable pizza for them. So I added around 2 tablespoons of yogurt to my chicken pieces. Now I will add around 1 teaspoon of garlic powder to that. 1 teaspoon of black pepper powder, some few dashes of onion powder, a few dashes of parsley flakes, some lemon juice, and some salt to taste. That's it. Then mix everything up and it is ready to be cooked. It's super simple chicken marinade that works really well for pastas or for pizza like this. I don't have a specific measurement for anything. I just eyeball things like that and it turns out great. So this is the chicken here. Now this is a pizza that I will be putting the chicken on, I'll put the same thing as before, some tomato sauce, tomato pizza sauce, and then some ranch sauce. Squares, and it is ready to be eaten. This was a really nice pizza, but again, I was not really fond of the way this base turned out. I will try the same recipe again with the base that I made earlier with my original recipe, inshallah. And this is how it looks from up close. It was really delicious and very easy to make. Now this is the next morning. I was preparing my son's preschool lunch, so I just thought I would film it. I'm going to give him some leftover pizza from yesterday. I air fried it, like I just heated it up, and I will cut it into halves so that it's easier for him to eat. He's 4 years old, so yes, I don't have to cut it in bite-sized pieces, but just halves is good. On this particular day, he was just going to school for some introduction, so it wasn't going to be a long day, so I just gave him 1 slice of pizza and 2 Oreos. He was just going to school for, I think, 2 hours, that's it. So I'll just give it to him, but if he's going to school for 5 or 6 hours, then of course I will give him a full-on lunch, you know, like with other sides as well. So I just put in some refreshing tissue and some normal tissues, and I will fill his water bottle with some water, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Until next time, take care. Allah Hafiz.